You know, I hate to start this program like this, but I was talking to somebody the other day, you know, and families and funerals and like oftentimes people don't get together and acknowledge, you know, an individual until he or she dies.
That's right.
And they talk about how bad that is.
That's right.
You know, they come together and then they have a fish fry the night before, you know, rather than having had a fish fry while that person who laying over there in that casket could taste the fish.
Right, right.
You know, and there's something to be said for that.
That's right. That's
and then what we need to learn to do is not necessarily as when a death is imminent or death is preeminent. We need to pay homage to and recognize and give recognition to individuals while they live.
Amen. Amen.
Individuals who have made a contribution to the community and who have been effective. And so I thought it would not be robbery.
Praise the Lord.
To have the Reverend Dr. Bobby Clark, you know, on my show because, you know, there are some efforts in this community to acknowledge how long he has been involved in the community, how long he has been on radio, how long he has been emceeing shows, and how long his name has been a mainstay in Central Georgia and throughout the state. So this is a call to action.
A call to action.
And that's why I went ahead and talked too long at first, because I got a radio job. You know, so I got to get my little bit in early,
Get it in.
because this is the person that I'm interviewing today, and the person of Dr. Bobby Clark has been, you know, if I had a penny for every word that he's spoken on the radio, I'd be probably a billionaire.
That's right. You're right.
Because he's been doing it a long time. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm blessed. How about you, man?
I'm outstanding. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you.
And I tell you something else that's important. I'm gonna say a little more, because Bobby ain't gonna let me talk in a minute.
That's true.
I know. And but we have been friends.
That's right. That's right.
For many, many years, and
That's
we've
right.
always respected each other.
Amen. Amen.
And whenever I call, he responds. And
That's right.
so when I got a call the other day saying, well, you know, Bobby is fixing to retire after 40. I said, well, bless his heart. You know, well, I think we need to start giving him some due, you know, as it relates to what you've done in and for the community,
Right.
you know, for a lot of time. So let's go way back. You know, you remember that old saying, push it back, way back. Let's go way back, and let's start with Bobby Clark. We'll start before the police department. People don't even know that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
This is your life, Bobby Clark.
Thank you, man. Man, first of all, thank you, man. You're right. We have been friends for a mighty long time and going to be friends for a longer time. Be the Lord's will. But let's go back to 1978. That's when we first got into radio. I was a member of Pastor Ronald Terry's church at the New Fellowship Baptist Church. At that time, it was still at the same address that it is now. However, we were at 475 Church Street. Believe it or not, Reverend Terry used to be a DJ. He used to spin gospel records. See, you didn't know that.
I did.
He used to be a DJ. When he first came to Macon, he was a DJ up north somewhere. I want to say Kentucky. But he came here and hooked up with WIBB, what was on Mulberry Street, in the basement, in the old Robert E. Lee building.
Right.
Well, I was a member of his church. I was a deacon. I used to drive him around, he and his wife and Greg Oliver, to different churches during the musical times. You know, they would do concerts and stuff. And then he had a CB. And I would grab that CB, breaker 19. This is, you know, Butterball, you know, talking trash, you know. On the CB. Well, Pastor Terry was a musician and a revivalist. He couldn't be at the station every day. So he heard me talk on the CB. He said, Bobby, I need you to sit in for me one day. I said, sit in where? I thought he going crazy. Like he lost his mind. He said, I got to go do a concert or do a revival. I can't be at the station. I said, you want me to do what? On the radio? That was far from my mind. You know, I'm a young buster, man. I'm out here shooting marbles, you know, playing with the bicycles and the little girls and this sort of thing. Radio was far from my mind. Well, I sat behind the board that one day. He showed me how to push 2 or 3 buttons, okay? And he said, you do this, you do that, you do that, and you talk on this thing right here. That was a microphone. That's all he said. And man, the next day, I began to talk and made a whole lot of mistakes. At that time, Big George was still working there. He was there. And he said, man, so the station manager came in and said, look, pretend that microphone is a multitude of people. I never will forget this, man. He said, talk to that microphone and just pretend like you're talking to some people. And I took that little bit of knowledge and then I began to come back and straighten up my act. And really, the Big George and this manager showed me and manifested it into whatever it is that people say I am today. You know, and that's been 40 years ago. You know, I worked there. We left there and went to 2nd Street. You know, the station was on the sidewalk. You know, that was a good station. I went to about 3 different managers while being there on 2nd Street. My best buddy was Walter Jackson. He worked at WDDO. Walt and I had a good working relationship, better than anybody that I ever ran into in radio. I ran into a lot of people other than Mike Roberts. Mike Roberts was about one of the best managers I ever had. I mean, he's just down to earth. And but I ran into a lot of people, AC, that helped me along. Now, what really helped me was when I married this young lady over to my extreme right, you know, Janice. She helped me so much as far as really trying to educate me, because she was more of an educator than I was.
Yes.
And she taught with me. However, what I did was I started going to the workshop, the Gospel Music Workshop of America. That really helped better my English. It taught me how to do the dynamics of as a gospel radio announcer. It taught me how to greet people. It taught me the basic. I went to the workshop each year in some city across the United States of America. I paid for it myself. Nobody sent me. I worked, saved up money. Then I got tired of spending the whole week in the hotel. I said, next year I'm gonna bring my wife. I took my wife with me, and she's been going ever since. I mean, you know, and she'll tell you, education is better than, you can't beat it. So so God saw all of this, that I was on my own, so to speak, trying to build a ministry to represent Him. And God has been good to me, man. I can't, Reverend Terry, I don't think he even knew what he was doing. He was just trying to get somebody in there to do the work. And he had faith in me, because I was his deacon, his driver, and he knew that I love to talk. Now, some folks say I talk too much. You do. Thank you, I appreciate that.
I know you do.
But and that's basically it. A lot of things happened to me along the way. I met a guy named Dr. Ariel White. He had in the studios of WIDV, AM 1280 at that time on 2nd Street. He had some LPs, long playing albums on the shelf, still wrapped up. I didn't know who he was. I grabbed them, I read them, I looked at them, I played them. I said, wow, this sounds great. You know, back in the day, Clara Alexander, was on that particular LP. Man, White had some good material. And so I started playing it. Then he called me. Hey, man, folks called me and saying that you playing my stuff. Hey, man, who you? And he came down and he met me. And we've been friends ever since. In that friendship, Reverend Ariel White took me and my wife to the Bahamas on a gospel cruise.
Wow.
He and his wife went on a cruise. His church sent he and the wife on a cruise, and his wife said, this crew, why don't we rent this ship and bring a gospel cruise to the ship? That's what they did the following year. They had people like Dorothy Norwood, Albertina Walker, the Williams brothers. During that time, Pastor Joe Hill was living. He went, he and his wife. My wife and I went. Tippy Calloway, an announcer from Atlanta, he's dead and gone now. A whole lot of more folks went. The Anointed Pace Sisters out of Atlanta. I emceed the concert on the cruise along with Tippy Calloway. Okay, for a whole week. Not 1 year, but 2 years in a row. White did that. He reached out to me and just, hey man, I just want to tell you thank you. You know, and people like that I cross with, I rub shoulders with some of the greatest gospel recorded artists in the country, Jackson Southernaires, who will be in Macon real soon. You name it, folks like the Soul Stirrers, you know, Mom and Pop, the Consolers out of Miami, Florida. Oh man, you know, these are great singers, you know, and they have inspired me. And so now I bring it back to today, where there are a lot of gospel artists who are out today, a lot of artists that, you know, radio has changed. Let's just face it, you got the internet that's, you know, basically taking over. But however, you can still have old radio if you know what you're doing. And I'm not saying that I know everything, but I follow a man who knows everything.
Yes, sir.
And people don't like for me to say this, but my radio show is not my gospel show. It belongs to the Lord. It's a ministry, AC, that's helping a lot of people. And I get this kind of call, feedback every day, all week long, how the ministry at our station has helped a lot of people in our community. And that's all I have to go by. I mean, you know, and if I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living will not be in vain.
I know.
And that's just how I feel about that, you know. I might go down swinging by myself, but I go down saying that.
Well, you won't be by yourself because you've done a great job. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk a little bit more about what you're doing now and what you're going to do, you know, once you're retired. I mean, you're going to leave a vacuum, you know, on the airways in the community.
Yeah,
but we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
www.makingblackpages.com.
We're back. This is a call to action.
A call to
I'm
action.
your host, Alec Habersham, interviewing the Reverend Dr. Bobby Clark, you know, who's a mainstay and a namestay in our community, particularly from the area of gospel and spirituality and radio. And it's my understanding that he's going to retire from the radio. Now, notice I didn't say retire, period.
Right.
You know, I had a preposition of phrase after retire. You talked about English. From the radio.
From the radio.
A preposition of phrase. And so we wanted to, you know, at least inform the community and give me an opportunity and the community an opportunity to say thank you, man, for what you've done for the community through your voice and through your ministry over the years. You know, it's been, you know, time flies, man.
It does, man. It really does.
Time really flies, but I wanted to thank you. And so what you going to do, man? What you going to do?
Well,
Let me say this, though. First
sure.
of all, I don't want to do this show without thanking you for all the support that you've given me, you know, in my businesses and the other community endeavors. You know, you've been involved in a lot of stuff in the community, and I know that, you know, see, they call me a popcorn disc jockey, you know, because I don't know, you might have been, I don't know who started calling me. Either you or Big George, somebody started calling me a popcorn disc jockey.
Could have been Big George.
Yeah, because I used to get on the radio and not be DJ, but just to talk all the time. And I tried to emulate these guys because I love their voice and all that. So, but you've always supported. And now, not only am I a popcorn disc jockey, I'm also a popcorn master of ceremonies. So, like I was doing last night, but I did all right last night.
You did good, man. You did good.
Don't fool me now.
No, I'm proud of you.
Okay. So what you gonna do, man?
I've been preaching, trying to preach for the past, 10, 12 years, somewhere along there. And the Lord saw fit to let me have a church. So I started a church ministry 3 years ago. From the hotel on Liberty Inn here in Macon. And my wife and I started that ministry, and the Lord blessed us with a band of people. Man, they've been joining our church quite a bit. So then we were there just 3 years and 2 months. Then the Lord saw fit to move me from there to a church building in the historic community of Pleasant Hill, which I'm grateful to be in that community with my wife and the band of baptized believers. We are now the Kingdom Building Ministries of Macon Incorporated. And so we've been there now for about right at a month. And so now the vision is to come out of radio and go into church ministry full time. When you're talking about leading a church family, you need time, you need more time, you need strength, you need knowledge, And I've been getting up, man, at 4 a.m. for a long time, a number of years. My wife and I both. We've been traveling up and down that dangerous highway from Macon to Fort Valley when I was at WXKO. I was so tired leaving there around 2 o'clock every day, coming back to Macon. I just barely staying in the road, running off the road almost, but the Lord woke me up. I did that AC for a number of years, man, just trying to do ministry work. Not because just because I was tired, but God kept me abreast. He kept me woke for a number of years, and I thank God. I look back over my shoulders, man, and I'm just grateful. And I start crying in a minute when I think about how good God's been to me. And really, I don't deserve it. Okay? I don't deserve to be standing behind a book bowl. I call it a book bowl, a pulpit, teaching God's people what thus said the Lord. I don't deserve that. But God is seeing something in me and my wife that he wants us to do. And so I'm going into ministry full time. I won't have to get up so early in the morning. I can get some good rest. Now, she's going to remain at the station as a salesperson. She's doing sales now at the light. And she's going to remain there, and bless her heart. But she won't have to get up that early. She had to report to work at 8 o'clock, which is good for her. It's daylight, and she can drive down there and do what she got to do, and then she's off at 1 o'clock.
Right.
And when she come to the church, because I'm going to be at the church on, Tuesday through Fridays. Monday's my day.
Right.
I'm just going to take it off and rest.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to have time, AC, to get into a walking program. That's what I need to do for my health. I'm concerned about my health.
Right.
You're looking at a man who can be celebrating his birthday December the 1st. I'd be 68 years old, be the Lord's will.
Wow.
I know I look okay. I know I look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were only 5 years older than me.
Man, I'll be 68 December the 1st, be the Lord's will.
Well, bless your heart.
Hey, man, bless you.
Happy birthday.
A lot coming from you.
Now let me ask you this. How many stations have you worked at?
I worked at, believe it or not, I haven't worked at that many. I started out with WIBB. And then when IBB 5000 water, the power went sour, meaning the station needed some work done to the tube system, and they decided not to get it fixed. So I left there and went to WBML. I stayed there at WBML for about 11 and a half months. All the while I was there, they showed up on the Arbitron ratings for the first time in their history. Okay. I left there and got a call by Mike Gamble, who was our present manager, I got a call from him to come and help him out at WXKO in Fort Valley. I went there and stayed almost right at 10 years. We had a great showing down there in Fort Valley. Just 1,000 water in Fort Valley. But man, it generated a whole lot of listeners in that area. It reached Macon. And we started the first thing called Power in the Word Ministry.
Right.
Every morning, man, Macon folk would call the station and just quote scriptures and get happy about just reading God's Word.
Right.
And so I brought that idea back from Cincinnati, Ohio. The Lord gave it to me, and I started using that ministry, man. And it just took root and just grew.
Wow.
And so after WXKO, then we came back to Macon when we started working with WPGA, Registered Communication.
Right.
And that station kind of like broke up, and it was under receivership. And then we came on downtown Macon, and we've been there ever since. And we're getting ready now to retire. It's been 40 long years, a good road, the ups and downs. But I've seen a lot of great things in radio. I've seen a lot of bad things in radio. Like I said, radio has changed, but the people really love what we're doing at the light. And so the Lord, I prayed and asked God. I said, God, I said, I need you to send me somebody that we can train, that, you know, not to be like me, but to just for you to be pleased that he'll be the one to replace me. Because I feel like you want me to retire, and he does.
Right.
Because last year I had that option to retire, but I didn't, and I paid for it.
Okay.
I paid for it. God whipped me.
Yeah, I understand.
And I don't mind saying that.
I understand. I understand. So talk about your MCing. You MC. You've done quite a bit of MCing.
It's not too many churches that make it that I haven't been in. To MC programs, I MC big crowd, Macon City Auditorium several times, even at the Coliseum with Shirley Caesar, Dottie Peoples, several well-known international and national artists. I've MC programs here. I've MC programs in the Bahamas. Oh my God, I worn out Macon. Even in Atlanta, I go every year now. Dr. White invites me to his church every fourth Sunday in October. I never shall forget. I started taking my wife and my godmother, Willie Floyd Mosley. We would go there every fourth Sunday. That was a grand occasion, along with Deacon Wallace at side.
Yeah, I know why.
Mr. Son the Best.
Yeah.
And we would go there every year to MC a big concert that he always have.
Now, wasn't Sunday Best not too long ago?
Third Sunday in September every year.
Yeah. I understand it was a good showing
It
for that.
was a great
Evidently, he
showing.
does it for profit, for non-profit.
Non-profit. And this year, for the first time, he gave out scholarships.
Wow.
And the scholarship was so unique in its way because for the first time, Commissioner Elaine Lucas was there. And she was able to get some of her kids back into school.
Wow.
Because of the scholarship.
Wow.
Of Deacon Wallace side. He give away cars, houses,
yeah, I know.
vans, trucks, you name it, man.
I know, he's a great guy.
Oh, man.
I know.
Man.
And you never know, he's so humble.
You
never know
so
about,
humble. You know everybody.
Yeah, you
that's
never
my
know
friend.
about Luke. So now, where is your church located?
My church is located at 211 in the Pleasant Hill community, right on the corner of Madison Street and Woodliff Street. 211 Madison Street.
211 Madison Street.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, is that's not the street that Booker T. Washington is
No,
on? It's a street.
Right.
It's a street above that.
Right. Booker T is on Monroe.
On Monroe.
So we at the old Fountain Temple AME Church building.
Okay.
Right on the corner. If you look behind my church, there's St. Mary's sits down in the bottom for Reverend Sylvester Freeland.
Right.
Is the pastor there. So we up on the hill,
Right.
sort of that. Right
Okay,
on the
well,
corner.
now, I'm sure that there will be opportunities. And now, is there going to be some kind of event or some kind of celebration for
Yes,
your...
sir. Yes, sir. On December the 1st, which is my birthday, we're having a local gospel artist showcase salute to yours truly.
Oh, wow.
And that's going to be about 25 or 30 local artists here in the city will be saluting us at the Greater Little Rock Baptist Church, where Pastor Paul Kelly is the pastor there on Felton Avenue. And then on December the 3rd, now, it started out with Pastor Terry. It's going to end with Pastor Terry.
Right.
At New Fellowship Baptist Church, December 3rd at 4 o'clock, we're having our Pass the Torch ceremony. That's going to be where I will pass everything that I have. A torch, so to speak, will be a microphone. Pass it over to Vertice 00. And he's going to be the guy that's going to be taking over once I leave. And matter of fact, he's already done that. But we're going through the motions, on December 4th.
Right.
And we got a few groups and some remarks and presentation to yours truly. So they're going to be the city of Macon, along with our local artists. I'm not going national artist. Well, Bishop J.D. Means, he will be there. That's my friend. And Dr. White wants to come, but that's the Sunday that he has his regular communion service. Right. He has out of town guests coming in.
So what should one do if, in fact, you want them to call Miss Janice if they want to get a ticket or how should they get it?
There are no tickets involved. I want to make it to come and not purchase a ticket. But if they want to contribute, just come to the program either day or both days, and quite naturally, yes, it can be a time for you to give an offering, and you can contribute that way. I take yours now. I got another guest coming.
Go ahead, hurry up. We got 1 minute.
A call to action. I got another guest coming. However, he won't be there until he let me know what day, and that's Pastor Dr. E. Dewey Smith.
Oh,
Jr.
man.
He and his church are all coming down on the day that he's available.
Now, so either the 1st or the 3rd, or it's going to be another day.
Another day. Beside the 1st and 3rd.
Okay.
And he can't come on the 1st and 3rd.
Okay.
But he can come.
That'll be
soon.
very exciting.
Yes,
and I'm sure that the community will look forward to
That's right.
seeing him. He will know. Well, I want to, again, congratulate you.
Thank you,
I'm having
Thank you so much.
The Reverend Dr. Bobby Clark, not a popcorn disc jockey, on this show in observance of his 40 years of radio service to the community. We appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
We appreciate all you've done over the last 40 years.
Thank you so much.
Godspeed on your church and best wishes.
Sir.
I know that you'll make a real difference in the Pleasant Hill neighborhood.
Amen.
And just keep on. And if you need me, I'm just as close as your fingertip.
I got your phone number.
Yes, I know you do.
Yes, sir.
This is a call. Now, what can who you want people to call if they need more information about you?
They could call us at 478-262-5878.
478-262-5878.
Yes, sir. You got that number too.
Yeah, I know I got your number. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
I'm your host, Alex Habersham. Thank you for all your service, man.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great day.
God bless you.